Welcome back to the sanctuary of stardom, the only place where the glittering lights of fame illuminate the deepest shadows of the human heart. You are tuning in to News Around, your trusted companion in deciphering the complex, emotional, and often turbulent lives of Turkey's most celebrated figures. Before we step into the velvet-roped world of tonight's heartbreaking saga, we have a small favor to ask. Our team works tirelessly to bring you these exclusive, deep-dive reports. If you value our storytelling and want to ensure you never miss a beat, please hit that subscribe button right now. For our most dedicated viewers who want to be the lifeblood of this channel, consider clicking the join button. Your support empowers us to go further, dig deeper, and bring you the news that others miss. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments, we read them all. Now, settle in as we transport you to a night that began with laughter but ended in a silent, devastating farewell for one of our favorite actors, Gökberk Demirci. The evening in question was poised to be a celebration of life, art, and camaraderie. The venue, a secluded and upscale establishment favored by the crème de la crème of the entertainment industry, buzzed with the low hum of exclusive conversations and clinking crystal. In the center of this social tapestry was Gökberk Demirci. Known for his intense on-screen charisma, Gawkberg arrived with an air of lightness that had been missing from his public persona in recent months. Surrounded by a close-knit circle of friends, he appeared genuinely in high spirits, his laughter mingling easily with the ambient jazz. For observers, it seemed as though the actor had finally turned a corner, finding solace and joy in the company of his confidants after a year marked by emotional turbulence. However, the fragile ecosystem of celebrity social circles is often one entrance away from chaos. The atmosphere in the room shifted perceptibly, a sudden drop in temperature, a collective intake of breath as the doors opened to reveal the arrival of Özge Yağız. She was a vision of elegance, her poise unshakable, commanding the room not just with her beauty but with a newfound serenity. But she did not arrive alone. Walking beside her, radiating a quiet but undeniable confidence, was fellow actor Burak Bakay. For Gökberk Demirci, time did not just slow down, it seemingly ground to a complete halt. Eyewitnesses report that the moment Gökberk's gaze landed on the pair, the color drained from his face. It was as if a ghost from a past life had materialized in front of him, shattering the cheerful facade he had worn all evening. The sight of Özge, the woman he had once publicly and privately heralded as the love of his life, walking arm in arm with another man was a visceral blow. The rumors that had whispered through the corridors of the industry for months, rumors of a blossoming romance between Özge and Burak, were no longer just gossip. They were flesh and blood, standing right there in the soft glow of the venue lights. The dynamic between Özge and Burak was described by onlookers as intimate yet restrained, a delicate balance that speaks of a relationship that is both new and deeply respectful. There were no grand, performative displays of affection, but rather a series of subtle, almost imperceptible gestures that screamed of connection. Burak's hand gently guiding her by the small of her back, a shared whisper that elicited a soft smile from Özge, a protective stance that seemed to shield her from the rest of the room. For Gawkberg, witnessing this harmony must have felt like watching a film of his own past, but with the lead actor recast. It was a cruel mirror, reflecting the happiness he once held, now residing in the hands of another. Unable to maintain the charade of indifference, Gawkberg reportedly rose from his table with a suddenness that startled his companions. He retreated to a dimly lit, quieter corner of the establishment, seeking refuge from the unfolding scene. Witnesses describe a man in the throes of an internal battle. He pulled out his phone, feigning interest in the screen, his fingers scrolling aimlessly in a desperate attempt to avoid eye contact with anyone, especially the couple across the room. But the screens of our devices cannot hide the pain in our eyes. His friends, sensing the gravity of the shift in his mood, approached him with concern, asking the universal question of comfort, "Are you okay?" Gawkberg, a man of few words in moments of deep emotion, simply nodded. But his silence spoke volumes. It was the silence of a man trying to hold himself together while his world quietly imploded. Across the room, Özge Yağız maintained a masterclass in composure. She did not look around. She did not scan the crowd for familiar faces from her past. Her attention was singularly focused on the conversation with Burak and the friends they had joined. This behavior, while dignified, struck a particularly painful chord for Gawkberg. Her relaxed demeanor, her confident laughter, and her ability to exist in that space without a shadow of awkwardness were interpreted by many as the ultimate sign of moving on. To see the person you loved looking so unburdened, so free of the past that still anchors you, is perhaps the sharpest dagger of all. As the night wore on, the emotional weight became unbearable for Gawkberg. Staying in that room, breathing the same air, and hearing the faint echoes of her laughter became a form of torture. It was, as one witness poignantly described, like experiencing a second breakup. The realization that he was no longer a protagonist in her story, but merely a spectator, settled over him with crushing finality. Gawkberg's departure was not the exit of a star, but the escape of a wounded heart. He stood up from his corner, bypassing the formalities of long goodbyes. He did not look back at the table where Özge sat, he did not seek a final moment of eye contact to convey his hurt. He simply walked away. However, those closest to the exit noticed a heartbreaking detail. Just before stepping out into the cool night air, Gawkberg paused. He cast one final, lingering look back into the venue, not with anger, not with the fire of jealousy, but with a look of profound, sorrowful acceptance. It was a farewell look, a silent acknowledgement that the chapter was truly, irrevocably closed. The drama did not end at the venue's door. Gossip circles are abuzz with the details of what happened next. Gawkberg was seen getting into his car, his head hung low, trying to shield his expression from any prying lenses. Once inside the safety of his vehicle, he reportedly rolled down the window, letting the night air hit his face, and took a deep, shuddering breath. It was the breath of a man releasing a weight he had carried for too long. He sat there for a long moment, gripping the steering wheel, before driving off into the darkness. Insiders claim that he made a phone call shortly after leaving, reaching out to a close friend. His words, allegedly shared in a voice heavy with emotion, have since rippled through the grapevine. Some loves never truly end within a person. This singular sentence encapsulates the tragedy of the evening. While the physical relationship may have ended months ago, the emotional cord had remained severed but unhealed until this night. Back inside, the tension seemed to dissipate with Gawkberg's exit. Özge and Burak appeared to relax further, their conversation flowing more freely, oblivious or perhaps respectfully ignoring the shadow that had just departed. This contrast between Gawkberg's solitary drive home and the couple's deepening connection serves as a stark reminder of the divergent paths ex-lovers often take. This event forces us to ask difficult questions about the nature of closure. Can we ever truly move on until we see our past loves happy with someone else? Was this night a tragedy for Gökberk Demirci, or was it the necessary shock to the system he needed to finally let go? The gossip columns will talk about the scandal, the awkwardness, and the tension. But here at News Around, we see the humanity. We see a man confronting the reality that life goes on, with or without us. For Gawkberg, this evening was likely a crucible. It was a confrontation with a reality he had perhaps been avoiding. The pain etched on his face was not just about seeing Özge with Burak, it was about mourning the future he had once imagined for himself, a future that is now being lived by another man. As we await further developments, the industry is rife with speculation. Will Gökberk Demirci break his silence? Will he channel this heartbreak into his art, delivering performances of even greater depth? Or will he retreat further into the shadows to heal? And what of Özge and Burak? Will they step into the light as an official couple now that the hardest hurdle, the public confrontation with the ex, is behind them? We will be watching closely, ready to bring you every update. But for now, the image that lingers is that of Gökberk Demirci, driving alone through the city, coming to terms with the end of an era. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey. These stories remind us that behind the glamour, celebrities are just people trying to navigate the messy, painful, beautiful thing called love. We want to hear from you. Which other Turkish celebrities do you think are hiding a secret heartache? Who would you like to see us cover in our next deep dive report? Let us know in the comments section below. And remember, If you enjoyed this storytelling and want to support independent, high-quality celebrity journalism, please subscribe to News Around. Click the join button to become a member and get access to exclusive perks. Your support keeps the cameras rolling and the stories flowing. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep watching News Around.